Hello and welcome to my stream of Making of Merle. This is a stream where I record my process of making Merle, a game character for Gray Skies, Dark Waters. Yes, last session, yesterday, we went through the process of creating the base shapes for her sweater and her jeans. After going back and forth with the devs, I realized that she's going to be standing outside 100% of the time, which means that we're going to be making her jacket, which pretty much will cover up the sweater. So this is going to be making of the base mesh for the jacket and deleting of the work not deleting, of course, we never delete anything, but which will kind of make the work we did last time on the sweater more or less obsolete. So that's fun. But hey, we learned something, we had some fun. And it's really the process that makes me happy. So I'm probably gonna go and in the end I'm probably gonna delete the arms but keep the center part of the sweater, the torso, since I'm thinking I'm gonna have the jacket a little open like this. It's gonna be one of those mini cute little girl jackets, kind of fluffy and warm. Super preppy, which is going to be fun to model. Now usually I would go about modeling something like this in Marvelous Designer. It's got a really awesome inflate function where you really just put seams along the seams, basically make all of these different layers and then inflate them, which would pretty much there's no better way of doing this than doing it in Marvelous Designer. But since I like a challenge and since Marvelous Designer is expensive, even the indie license, I think it runs at $60 a month, and that's more than my Substance, my Adobe, all of my other licenses combined. I can't really justify shelling that out. So while I could at work, I definitely plot this in through Marvelous Designer. We're going to see what kind of a challenge we can do by pulling this through ZBrush and generating a completely base mesh in ZBrush for this jacket piece. Now, let's see, I forgot how to zoom. Okay. The way I'm going to go about doing this is going to be to create polygroups for all of these different patches, and then use polygroup masking to inflate them and to create all these gorgeous kind of seams right here. This means I'm going to have to be very intentional about how I create the base mesh, since it's going to be the AO alpha omega defining aspect of how I'll go about how the end result will look. So it's going to be nice and complicated. This reference has a fold down the middle, which visually I really enjoy seeing, but it's also going to present a unique challenge of how to fold that outward. Probably going to be a combination of masking and a little bit of Z modeling to get that fold to look right, since that's always a challenge, especially with game models, where you don't just have an infinite number of polygons to play around with. God damn it, how do I zoom? Okay, so how are we going to get started on this? I think I'm going to use the work I did yesterday on the jacket as a base and start drawing some topology on this going up to the neck. Turn off the hat and the hair. Let's see what happened here. What? Yeah. Has subdivision levels, so that's not optimal. I'll just put it on the body. Let's see, how are we gonna do this? I'm just adjusting the shape first. Right now I'm just concerned about getting this topology perfect, so better to make one idea too much than three ideas just start, since this requires some very careful planning. Gonna model it. I think I'm gonna model it zipped up, actually. Well, not actually zipped up with the zipper, but is there even a zipper? Oh, the zipper is right here. a low-res image. Maybe I'm gonna have to see if I'm actually gonna model the zipper, but it's definitely gonna be a last-minute kind of a detail touch, since deforming it, including the zipper to get that fold would just be a pain in the ass. Just not worth it at all. So I'm gonna try and model it like this, get this basic shape here, kind of get different polygroups for that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 polygroups. Oh, well. We'll do whatever looks good. That's the most important part. Wonder if yeah, since this is going to be asymmetrical, I probably can't even, what's going on with that music here? It's totally disjiving my brain. There we go. For some reason, it seems that it's projecting it onto my actual. See, usually, unless I have ghosts on, yeah, it'll put it onto the. Okay. For some reason, it was projecting the topology brush right onto my base mesh. While usually, unless you have ghost transparency on, which is right here. See here, it's putting it onto her base mesh. But if I don't have that on, then it's still putting it on the base mesh. That's really odd. Oh, that's really odd. That's really odd. Mask everything. Huh. I think I just learned something new. So if you've got something masked, it's only going to project the topology brush onto the unmasked portion. It's really interesting. See if I can ever use that. So, God, that first step is always a bitch. Guess I'm just gonna have to just knock it out. The topology brush is definitely not behaving as nicely today. Okay, so I want to have the proportions to be right above where you would usually see the jeans. And then, well, she can't have her sweater tucked in, so I'm definitely gonna have to keep the bottom of the sweater. I'm thinking about here. And then, let's see, it's gonna be on the neck, so here, that's just too much. And like right here for the very top, tippity top. So one thing, as I was reviewing the stream phone yesterday that I noticed was that the music was way too loud. So I apologize for that. I did not realize how loud I had turned that music. I couldn't hear the mix with my voice while I was recording, and I think I actually played around with the volume a bit and completely fucked up any progress I made while preparing the mix. So apologize for that. Definitely going to be more conscious about that today. Straight line here. You can actually, there's a way to get a straight line. Huh. Yeah, that's the, get that one. So the reason I'm modeling it closed is so that the proportions of the jacket themselves, when I deform it, will be a little closer to a realistic, real life proportions. I think I'm actually gonna model it already kind of open and disconnected, because one thing that's really difficult to do, even with ZBrush, which not ZBrush, even with ZModeler, which does a lot. ZModeler has definitely changed my polymodeling workflow. Definitely, I don't need to go to Max as much anymore, or Blender to fix up my models, and that's amazing. I love that. But one thing that is really difficult to do with it still is just to split edges. So if I modeled this together, like I would in pretty much any other program, and then split it afterwards, that would be just really difficult to do, obnoxiously difficult actually. So that's why I'm going ahead and modeling it separate, even though it might not be the optimal workflow. One way you can split, basically the way you would go about splitting it in ZModeler, is to bevel and create a giant bevel for all of this and then delete the polys inside of that. But that's way too many steps, and it's also, you need perfect edge flow for that bevel. So up here during this corner, where I want to actually model a square, that bevel would just hit the corner and keep going. And there would be no way to tell it to go around here. So yeah, it's kind of dumb that they don't have a solution for that in such a beautiful program, such a beautiful extension, integration thing. I'm trying to make this a face here, but it's not cooperating. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. Proud of that. And we've got this connection right up here. Thinking that I might actually have to oh shit. That's one thing that always scares me a lot when using this topology brush, is just if you go and you hold Alt and you go into an empty space, it deletes everything that's not connected to an edge. So all of your free-flowing lines just gonna disappear, and if you don't notice that you did that because you're all zoned in right here, and then you suddenly do this and you just don't notice it because you're in the zone, you can lose you can waste a lot of time. Definitely, if there was a way to disable that feature, I would go for it. As far as I know, there isn't though. Now, the next kind of defining aspect of this jacket will be to get the seams on the arms. Because whenever modeling tops, the arm seams, if you build those into the topology, they will save you hours of work. Because you can never get it as perfectly straight hand modeling something. You just can never get that perfectly straight hand modeling something as when you model something into the topology and then use some edge loops or some polygroup masking to get that perfectly round edge. This is one thing that I've learned making a lot of more realistically oriented character models. Said that is an alpha omega. Let's see, we've got like, probably gonna make this one a bit smaller later on. But since the sweater we modeled was a bit of a baggy sweater, and this jacket is not quite as baggy, I'm going to pull it up later on so that still kind of have only the same amount of sides here, since they're going to be spaced pretty evenly. Now, what I'm kind of curious about, and this is where I think the reference is also failing me a bit, is unfortunately I couldn't find a picture of her lifting her arm. Somehow clothing companies don't care about that as much as as just when portraying their clothing is like, I want to see what she looks like when she lifts her arm. Because, okay, even say I wasn't a 3D model and interested in it for just the pure modeling perspective, when I am wearing a jacket and I lift my arms, I don't want everybody to see my belly button. Like, that's embarrassing. And I don't know, maybe some people are into that. Maybe I don't want to judge. It's perfectly fine if you're into people seeing your belly button when you lift your hands, but I just prefer to have more control over my wardrobe. And lifting my hands, that's a really important thing for me when considering buying a product. How can people not post pictures of people demoing their clothing in lots of strange, awkward, large positions? Okay, this is some nice spacing. Definitely happy with that. I'm going to polygroup it later, obviously, after I create the actual mesh. And a bit more resolution. Pull this over here. Now I'm considering, wondering if I need to add an edge loop around the arm, but I think I'm gonna leave that just so that I can model it better, because an edge loop could mess up the polyflow here, since it's not the way it's actually constructed. So I'm gonna go right here. Yes. There we go. Yep. So that kind of solved the arm up issue. I think that's, if I were to construct and design a jacket, not that I have any fashion design experience, unfortunately, which, I mean, it sounds really fun, but I would probably make it go like this. So, and since I don't think any of the animations in the game, at least I highly doubt that any of them will have her lifting her arm, I think we're good. So even if we kind of are BSing this a bit, it's just part of the job. I think when I started out modeling, I always worked kind of with the assumption I get a picture and then I'll make a 3D model out of it. Like, that picture will have all of the information I'll need to make this model. But the more you model, the more you realize that you can never have enough pictures for your model, because the 3D model has an infinite number of viewing angles, and no matter how many pictures you have, it's not going to compare to how many ways people are going to be, and from how many angles people are going to be able to view your model. So you can never get too much reference for work, for commercial projects. This obviously isn't a commercial project. It's a, I think, a 5K Kickstarter or something like that. But for commercial projects, I will spend a day just gathering reference, and it saves time, which seems kind of counterintuitive, I think, to a lot of people. Let's see, how's that happening? So she's got kind of a seam here, and then it's got a bit of a triangle shape here, so it's cut together like that. It's going to be really interesting to see how that works out. I'm just going to make it a quad because I'm anal about quads. And ZBrush hates tries. Let's see. I don't like how that one's spaced. I'm just going to take that centered a bit more. Yeah, that's definitely speaking to me a lot more. What I'll probably have to end up doing, and I'm honestly not quite sure. Oh, there's an edge that we're gonna have to insert. It's gonna have to flow through here, babies. There we go. Yeah. Then we can take this down here. Luckily, this is not a checker pattern jacket. If you're trying to model checker pattern topology, it's just hell, because that's the purest form of retopology, is that goddamn checker pattern. Let's see, and then she's got one more horizontal line going across here. Now, how are we going to model that shoulder part? Let's see, it's going, I think it's actually, seems to be starting like going all the way up like that. Then we have another quad here. So it's kind of funny because the glorious ZBrush image in one's head, when one imagines modeling everything in ZBrush, is these super high detail sculpts. And the problem with ZBrush is that super high detailing just goes so fast, and creating base meshes doesn't go any faster, so you're just left with creating the base mesh for 90% of the time. And digital art becomes more of a perfect digital base mesh creation kit. Unless you're doing more of a stylized look, in which case it's not as important to have that perfect base mesh. You can go get away with a lot more Dynamesh and ZBrush, but even so, never get enough of that base meshing. trying to do is just delete that one separating edge. Now it's not making me my... Oh, goddamn you. There we go. Yeah. Something good. Same thing on the other side. Since we have symmetry off, to get this diagonally zipper, I have to model both sides, which I guess we get kind of spoiled with ZBrush and not having to do that usually anymore. Ah, why is there a triangle there? It's because I didn't model it the way I thought I was going to. Just like that. Now it's going all the way across. Let's see, do I have the same amount of 1, 2, 3? There's going to be another one coming in here from... I'm going to have to add another one on this side, because this side we've got that one extra edge loop coming from the split here, and this side is not going to have that same split. So I'm just going to add an extra one in there for kicks, shits, and giggles. There we go. Squish this one in a little bit more and then get this one in. I like that flow. It's got more along the sides, a little bit of an opener, less visual noise in the middle. And a lot of that can already be just set with the topology, because when you're starting to add noise and resolution in the sculpt, obviously you can control it by adding so many vertices that it's really only defined by where you're sculpting. But the amount of large and small detail you can already define by the density of your topology. And that's something a lot of people just seem to neglect, is that, I mean, sure, you can subdivide until there is nearly no difference. And I say nearly because there's always going to be a slightly higher noise, a slightly higher level of visual noise on your model in the places where you've got more polygons, simply because the brush, it will be crisper. Even if it's not visually distinguishable anymore, it's going to be crisper in the areas where you've got more geometry. So it's a good idea to start kind of, even when generating the base mesh, visualize where you want to have the high frequency details. And for me, it's usually along the sides of the model, so that you pull out the center a bit more, and that people's eyes can kind of get drawn to the silhouette more, which is also more like the defining aspect of the model. I mean, a lot of this is just some sort of intuitive artistic theorization. But that's what art is everybody kind of trying to figure out how their own sort of BS theory. And there's objective theory, there's BS theory. It kind of goes over into another. In the end, it's just about intuitively building that thing that you're trying to communicate. In my honest opinion, obviously I'm no expert on art theory. What happened? Oh, did you forgot an edge loop? So we've got this part, which is gonna be kind of flowing to the side here, and then it seems to be pretty connected. So I kind of got that modeled in. Let's see if we can. Now, as during the last section, I was talking about how the topology brush works. a little bit, and if we've got too large, I'm gonna say edges in this topology brush, if I'm gonna draw through here, it's not going to snap, because this is actually going from point A to point B, and it's not got a vertex to snap to each of these orange and black parts or lines, and you're going to, like, I could get it to snap here, but it's not going to snap through the middle, especially if it's going through the mesh like that, because if I'm drawing a line here, you can see it's nowhere near connecting to that mesh. So that's one thing, if you want to have the topology brush not be as annoying to work with, you're going to have to consider that. And consider what kind of a resolution, and this resolution is set by your brush size, what kind of a resolution you want for your topology brush. I'm just adding an extra edge loop here, by the way, because I dislike having the topology flow changed by only a single edge. So often I'll just add a double edge to get the flow to adjust better, since that's also going to help ZBrush in smoothing the model later. And see, what just happened here is I tried to exit out this edge by pressing Alt, holding and drawing through here, but it didn't connect, so it exited out all the free edges. And if I hadn't noticed that, I would now have lost a lot of information about my model. So I'm going to actually hold Alt and pull it through here. There we go. Another kind of a complicated part is when you've got several layers of material going on, to see how that's going to handle itself. I'll pull this over here, look on the other side. Go, and then we've got that diagonal coming from here. Zoom. Connect this. Kind of getting lost in the trance right now. Wondering whether to add another piece there or just to see what do we have here. This is going to be one poly group. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, we should add one more line. Oh, see, exactly. This is where it's going to be building a problem. I'm just going to connect it here and then smooth that out later now. Got that going all the way through here. Yeah, we can add another edge. And now we're going to be just about finished with the vest portion of the jacket. And it'll only be a matter of connecting up the arms. See, and those arms, they seem to be pretty evenly spaced all the way throughout. That's going to make things easier on us. What the fuck? Are you? Oh, is it? Yeah. This is unfortunate. It's not going to be doing the corner search algorithm, so let's see how we're going to do that. I'm going to start making some loops here. Kind of make one big one for the elbow. Kind of hope that deforms correctly. then what's going to be a little complicated is going to be trying to get these edges to connect up. I might actually have to, in the end effect, go with a bridge. So we've got, it's going to kind of draw it as a reference. It's not going to connect because of the space difference. But that is something that will be really easily bridged with a zebra mesher. So we've got this one going here, this one going here, we've got one more line. This is going to be, the arm's going to be, hopefully, try and get that to be a bit of more low frequency detail, but the amount of edge loops I have might not allow that. Oh, that one actually connected because it's so close to it. Actually going to kill that line so that I can get a clean. Actually, it's a good orientation line. I'll kill it later. There we go. Get this one here. Ah, seems like if I start directly on the vertex, it'll connect automatically, which is more than optimal. That's perfect. Yeah, and it'll just snap down. Perfect, perfect, yes. There we go. We actually won't need to bridge it at all. But I will probably go ahead and add some extra edge loops. Project that onto here. And one more. I guess what I should have maybe done is turned on symmetry just for the arms, but it still wouldn't have helped with connecting them. So I'm fine with doing things twice. It's not as efficient as it could be, but hell. There we go. Added one more edge loop there, but I don't think I can make it much further up. Same thing on the other side. See, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And another 1, 2, 3, 4 on the forearm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, I'm probably gonna unmask the arms and then smart resim it later on in order to be able to sculpt symmetrically. Because while it makes sense to sculpt the torso asymmetrically, it's just lost time to sculpt the arms with using that method. That way. Oh, that's it. Ah, it's already connected that. Now later on, I'm gonna be probably debating. I'm most definitely not gonna debate this at all. I'm gonna be adding more loops around the elbow because elbow deformation is one of those things, one of them things. and you don't want to ignore that. But for modeling and generating the base polygroups, it's not going to necessarily help me out at all, especially for the T-pose. And I might even be lazy and let our animator or rigger do that and let them just add the exact amount of edges they need there. Okay, so here we go. Let's do a quick test. It seems like something not connecting here. Oh right, I need to go through here. Oh, I see, I see. This didn't connect that one correctly. There we go. What's that? And something's not cooperating down here either. Draw. Okay. Maybe I just have to do that with this one as well, huh? Nope, that did not help. This is not cooperating. Ah, there we go. Ah, but now this one isn't. And this is the pain of the topology brush. Is that these holes? It doesn't want to fill them. But with enough patience, it will bend to my will. Maybe this one needs to get redrawn now. Let's see. Ugh. Okay, try redrawing this one. Nope. Come on. Okay. Make it smaller. Sometimes that helps. Oh, I know what's happening. I know what's happening. This part here. No, that was fine. There are moments in my life where I just wish I could curse in Japanese. This is one of them. God damn it. Okay, I guess I'll just have to do that in ZBrush. It's not gonna cooperate today, that's fine. I don't need you or any other man. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Split on max points. I'm going to do an undo here, just so I have this active and start working with here and see if I can polish this crap up. Close. That's a pain. Nope, definitely not happy with that. I'm gonna go back up here, see if I can fix this up. Huh. Oh, nice! With the something that I completely forgot is that the ZBrush brush can now there we go. I fixed that. The ZBrush brush can now actually also edit curves. now we can close this, and then that's another thing is the close. Even if it's a quad, it's not gonna actually just make a quad here, which is what I want. It makes this awkward thing, and then I have to merge and delete edges, which is just a bitch ass thing, but it's still a little bit less work than taking it to max, so I put up with it. But yeah. Oh, and we forgot. Okay, let's see if I can just split this edge and then take this down there. Oh, and same here. I have no idea what that means. There we go. These need to match up, and then this might need to get extruded out there somehow, but I do not have the know-how of how to do that. Let's see, what does it look like here? We've got the zipper. No, and then it just goes right above, and then we're fine. Yeah! Seems like we got this more or less done. Move topological so that I can move this underneath and stitch it up. Ooh, I might need another edge loop here, but that could be a problem actually. No, it's actually we can insert one. Oh, it's going that way. Well, that's unfortunate. See, I wanted to go around here. How am I going to redirect that edge? Maybe if I split it. Let's see. And then actually delete this edge. I can move that topology flow. Oh, now it's going that. Why is it not going around here? This would make perfect sense. Oh, I think I need to split it again. God damn it. I should say right now, because ZBrush also loves to crash when I'm doing things like this. Split around here, maybe? No, that's just gonna, no. And I don't want another edge along the side because that'll be asymmetric. I really want to take it along here. So what I think I'll do is, I'll actually go in here and draw this in manually. Because I have decided I need this, and when I need something, I need it. And I need this edge loop around here. And I want it to go like this. Actually, no, that's fine. That's gonna mess anything up. It's just gonna make a nicer flow. And then we make our quads. Make it the quads. Yeah. Also, there was this issue. Gonna get that fixed up. Not gonna be able to fix that hole. But okay. Click with my mouse button. And split on this place. Go. So this is the old one. Now we've got an extra edge loop in there. I'll delete this. It's very scary, but as you might have noticed, I have a hotkey for delete. Very, very. I have lost a lot of information, a lot of work with that hotkey, but it does save a little time because I'm dumb and reckless. I keep it. I'm gonna do a slight polish over everything here. Ah, way too much. Holy figgy hole. Shit! Oh, I thought it was not doing the polish. And also this stupid close hole. Maybe there's a nope. Nope, there's not. Converge to center, converge to edge. Optimal curvature. Concave hole. So what I was doing before was using the cool convex hold feature where you actually pull out the hole in the cool zero measure way. And now it does build me kind of a quad. Not entirely, but kind of. Let's see if we can just do a really... If you change this, it's a different polish algorithm, and this one's not as aggressive. So if I just... It's still... Maybe I can do a polish, just kind of click on that. 0.1. No, it's not. It does not want to. 0.001. Okay, so method number 2 is to go over here and actually make a morph target of what it's like here, and now to do a polish, and now we're going to morph a little bit here, so we have just a little bit of polish. There we go. So I'm not gonna let you get me down with your too much polish. A lot of this, what I'm doing, is not something that ZBrush was initially really designed to do, so I am absolutely forgiving with the fact that I don't know, it doesn't polish low resolution meshes that well, because this is a program which was designed from the ground up to be working with billions of polygons, and right now I have a 426. So it's absolutely okay. I do not have a problem with it not polishing. I can do. What I should do right now is to redo my symmetry. So you can add to your masking while topological masking by pressing Shift. Drink something real quick. Kind of dry throat. Maybe that's why my voice is going so low. Okay, so what we want to do is see if we can, and this is going to be under deformation, do a smart resim. 0 symmetry points found, damn it. Resim. Nah, I think it's just too different right now. Well, seems like drastic measures call for drastic things. We're gonna hide the points, switch this, do some auto groups here, and oh my god, what are you doing, David? What are you doing? What are you doing, David? Do you really want to delete that? No, we don't need to delete that. Yeah, we need to delete that because the torso is asymmetrical. And then delete hidden. What we're going to do now is take this, group this, split unmasked points, go down here, mirror and weld, go up here, merge down, oh goddamn, pro ref. Okay. There we go. Now what we have, fuck. Oh, I see. Delete him. Go ahead and delete these. And now I know there is the bridge, 2 holes. Wah! Fwa! The power! The power! The power of the Ramesha! Smooth this out of it, and now, we have symmetric arms. You can take this, inflate it a teeny tiny bit. Now we can start sculpting. Now I'm gonna turn off the sweater for this, since I don't want it to be subconsciously influencing my visual intuition. Got my new topological on here. When I go with the torso, it's going to be one of the challenges of working on this jacket, is always being aware consciously of whether I am in have asymmetry on or not. Let's see, what does these shoulders? The shoulders are still pretty. Oh god, that's a lot of smooth. Shoulders are still pretty close to the figure. This is gonna be pretty close too. Gonna be pretty line on top of that bod. Pull this out a little bit. Definitely want to have a bit more of that shoulder silhouette. And on the next step. Oh! Looks like we are gonna have to split this mesh after all. This is a fake zipper. What the hell is a what the hell is a fake zipper doing in the that is so no, that's not a fake zipper. That's I see how this is working. That is not a fake zipper. You zip it up. I actually have a jacket like this myself. I mean, it's not white and fluffy. It's a leather jacket, of course, like a biker jacket. And it's got a zipper on the side, and then it goes over. And this kind of a jacket is designed so that when it's open, you've got a little bit of an extra material in here, and you can have this gorgeous fold back fold. It's actually part of the jacket design. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is model this part of the jacket separately and then try and stitch it onto what we have here. So I'm actually going to be modeling that underneath. I'm going to delete all my curves and build some more topology. So this is going to be, I'm going to make an edge lip here. I'm going to bridge that over to the other side. Ooh. It's going to be a bit complicated here, but we can weld these points. That should work. Yep, and then we're going to have a disconnect here. Yeah, and this is going to come down and kind of fit her figure like that. This is not going to take as long as the... Oh, and I want to make sure to get the edges lined up perfectly with this right here. Let's see how long I'm going to be recording. Oh, we've got time. A little bit of a smaller thing here. Oh. Okay, well, I'm gonna actually be modeling this fold right into here. This is where I want it to fold. I'm gonna be pulling this over back. Grab 1, 2 right here. That's where we're gonna attach it. Yeah, this is looking good. This is something that gets me super excited, is these kind of like topological nightmare scenarios where you're just like, oh, I'm getting the jiggles, man. just like making overlapping clothing layers, modeling them out, and then sculpting them out, and making sure the topology works. And oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Here we go, here we go. I'm so excited to see if this will work. Okay, so we've got this. We're gonna go ahead and come on. I don't have it in mind. Merge down, okay. So now, see, I'm gonna do a save because this is definitely uncharted territory here, and I'm not sure which kind of functions will cause ZBrush to crash. No, it's not gonna, oh fuck. Wow, we're just gonna have to do this the hardcore mode. Yes, I am manually stitching this up. I am sewing in ZBrush. Observe my seamstress skill set as I am stitching these points. And oh my god, if I had one ZBrush request, well not, no. If I had one ZBrush request, it would be to be able to split and unsplit just edges. Oh, fuck. First point, second point, first point, second point. I'm doing a dance. First point, second point. Oh fuck yeah. First point. Second point. Oh fuck you! First point. Second point. There we go. No. No. First, I'm gonna set my edge to do nothing. First point. Second point. One more to go. Here we go. We can do this. Oh god. This one's hidden underneath. What a challenge. This is getting hardcore. First point. Can we do this? Can we do this? Second point. Yes! Okay, we have an overlapping jacket. Gotten way too into this. Kind of isolate this. Get a rect. I wish I could turn that off. God, I fucking do it. There we go. There we go. And this we can polish just a tiny bit. Oh nope, we cannot. Okay. Now we've got the basic topology down. The next big step is gonna be, no, the shape doesn't have that big of a rack. But the next big step is gonna be polygripping everything. And this is gonna stay one polygroup. You know what? I think I'm gonna do, since we've got the base topology for the jacket now, we're gonna take a break, and in the next session we're going to be polygrouping, shaping, and preparing that mesh for detailing. I'm gonna see you after the break.